Good day everyone. So for today's report, we'll be discussing about the posterior muscles, namely trapezius, latissimus dorsi, erector spinae, quadratus lumborum, and deltoid.
Trapezius muscles, a pair of large triangular muscles extending over the back of the neck and the shoulder and moving the head and the shoulder blade. The function of the trapezius is to stabilize and move the scapula. Trapezius muscles originates in the occipital bone, the ligamentum nuchae, and the spinous processes of T01 to T12. The muscle inserts on the lateral third of clavicle, acromion, and spine of the scapula.
Latissimus dorsal muscle. Latissimus dorsal muscle is the broadest of the back, which is partially covered by the trapezius muscle. Latissimus dorsal is divided into two segments, which are configured symmetrically along the backbone. Anatomically, the latissimus dorsal is a muscle of the backbone, diba? However, functionally, it is a muscle of the upper limb. Latissimus dorsal is a strong muscle that is helpful in performing sports such as swimming, gymnastics, and rowing. Latissimus dorsal originates from the iliac crest, the thoracolumbar fascia, the inferior processes of the inferior 6 thoracic vertebrae, and the inferior 3 or 4 ribs. The function of latissimus dorsal is responsible for the adduction, major rotation, and extension of the shoulder. It is similar to the action of the teres major muscle. Thank you.
The erector spinae muscles are a group of long muscles that originate near the sacrum and extend vertically up the length of the back. The spinalis muscles are most medially located, that is, they are closest to the spine. Next to spinalis, we find the latissimus muscles. The iliocostales are located most laterally of the erector spinae muscles. The origin, sacrum, iliac crest, spinous process of lumbar vertebrae, and T11-12, while the insertion, angle of the ribs, spinous and transverse processes of vertebrae. The erector spinae muscles function to straighten the back and provide side-to-side rotation. It's not just one muscle, but a group of muscles which run more or less the length of the spine, on the left and the right, from sacrum or sacral region and hips to the base of the skull.
Now, next type of muscle to be discussed is the quadratus lumborum muscle. What is the quadratus lumborum muscle and what is its function? Basically, the quadratus lumborum muscle originates from either side of the lumbar spine. It is referred to as the deepest abdominal muscle. It begins at the last rib and inserts into the top portion of the pelvis. Since the pelvic region is one of the most used areas of the body, as it facilitates movements like walking, standing, and sitting, it becomes vulnerable to injuries with subsequent back pain. In fact, most of the cases of back pain are due to tightness and injury to the quadratus lumborum muscle. So this is the structure of the quadratus lumborum muscle. In terms of its location, it is a flat, a quadrilateral shaped muscle that lies alongside the vertebral column. Coming to the anatomy, the quadratus lumborum muscle attaches to the transverse process, the posterior iliac crest, the lowest rib, and the iliolumbar ligament. The function of the quadratus lumborum muscle is to stabilize and facilitate the movement of the pelvis and the lumbar spine. When an individual bends to the right when doing some exercises or any activities, then the only right side of the quadratus lumborum muscle is involved. Additionally, the quadratus lumborum muscle also facilitates breathing by supporting the accessory muscle for expiration. The origin of the quadratus lumborum muscle, it comes with iliolumbar ligament, adjoining part of the iliac crust, and tips of transverse processes of lower lumbar vertebrae. When the insertion of the quadratus lumborum muscle is into the lower border of the 12th rib and the transverse processes of the upper 4 lumbar vertebrae. The muscle fibers run upward and medially, and its anterior surface is covered by lumbar fascia, which is thickened above to form the lateral arcuate ligament and below to form the iliolumbar ligament. Again, this is the structure of the quadratus lumborum muscle in the human body.
Lastly, we have the deltoid muscle. So what is a deltoid muscle? A deltoid muscle is a large triangular-shaped muscle associated with the human shoulder girdle, explicitly located in the proximal upper extremity. So this picture illustrates the structure of the deltoid muscle. Its base or origin attaches to the spine of the scapula and lateral third of the clavicle. This U-shaped origin point mirrors the insertion point for the trapezius muscle. Its apex or insertion attaches to the lateral side of the body of the humerus on a point known as the deltoid tuberosity. So let us proceed to the primary function of the deltoid muscle. The deltoid divides into 3 distinct parts: the anterior, lateral, and posterior. When all 3 parts contract simultaneously, the deltoid will assist in abducting the arm past 15 degrees. It cannot initiate abduction because the direction of pull of the deltoid muscle is parallel to the axis of the humerus. Throughout abduction, the anterior and posterior parts of the deltoid play a significant role in stabilizing the arm, while the lateral head assists in raising the arm from 15 to 100 degrees. Additional functions include ambulation. The anterior head of the deltoid works with pectoralis major to flex the arm when walking. This is in contrast to the posterior part of the deltoid, which works with the lacetimus dorsi to extend the arm during ambulation. It is also noteworthy to discuss the stabilization functions that the deltoid provides. While carrying large objects, while the completely adducted, such as a deadlift movement or carrying weights, the deltoid prevents inferior displacement of the glenohumeral joint. Thus, the deltoid also provides compensatory force during abduction of the arm.